Some days I think I'm wasting my time.
You know, my career started in Nashville, and it's where I learned this industry. I was living there and working as a studio session singer for nearly 11 years, and I spent tons of hours in the studio doing backgrounds for, you know, a variety of artists, and I really honed my craft there, and the time I spent there was invaluable. There is so much to be gleaned from other artists and other people that are as talented as the ones on the records, but are just kind of like supporting those artists. And I was arranging backgrounds, I was singing backgrounds, I was touring, you know, with CeCe Winans and Donnie McClurkin, Kirk Franklin, Nicole Mullen, Sandy Patty, wow, Dolly Parton, Michael McDonald. It was a pretty long list. As a matter of fact, to keep myself encouraged, sometimes I would do this. I would go to the record store, and I'm dating myself. I would go to a record store, Tower Records or Blockbuster Records, and I would count how many CDs I was singing on, because I always knew that's what I wanted to do, but I just wasn't quite there yet. And to make sure I didn't get discouraged along the way, I would say, okay, well, you are doing something. And when it felt like I was going in circles, looking at those CDs would remind me that they're not really circles. I can't help but smile, because one of the most memorable moments for me in my career was singing We Shall Overcome, which was the theme song for the Civil Rights Movement. And I did it at the dedication of the Martin Luther King Jr. monument at the mall in Washington, D.C. That moment, I didn't realize how big that moment was until it was actually over. I remember reading a scripture. I can't remember where it's found now. I think it's in Psalm, and it says that, "Behold, I give you the nations for your inheritance." And God said to me years ago when I read that, I'm trying to give you the nations, and all you really want is to see your face on the record, you know? And it just kind of settled me. And when we fast forward to that moment, the mall in Washington, I texted a friend of mine and said, hey, I want you to watch this. It was a local channel. I knew it was going to be on. And then I got a text from a friend that said, I just saw you on CNN. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, CNN's not local. You know, that's global. And God said to me right then, I told you I was going to give you the nations as your inheritance. And I want to be obedient enough that He can trust me, and authentic enough that the listeners believe me.
I might get carried away.